All right, so one of the questions I've been struggling with is the Texas $200 EV registration fee that's extra, is it fair or not? So the question of fairness is, supposedly, since Texas is missing out on all the gas tax money, does the $200 make up for it, or is it just an extra penalty? All right, so here we go. Here's that. Here's this. So when I paid off my loan and received my title from TxDOT, I was surprised to find that my car weighs 5,072 pounds. Now, that's the gross vehicle weight. The load capacity is 826, meaning the empty weight of my car is 4,276. Okay, I mean, that's still heavier than one would expect. Now, the Model 3 is an older design, so maybe it's heavier than the Model Y. But here we go. Let's go into this. So, the empty weight of a Toyota Camry is around 3,310. My a Model Y is 4,154. A Ford F-150, surprisingly enough, is 4,021. So it's just over 100 pounds lighter. The F-150 is about 100 pounds lighter than my Model Y, which kind of surprises me. Okay, so the question at hand, though, is replacement for Texas gas tax. Okay, according to what I found, the gas tax is 20 cents per gallon in Texas. Okay, so my Model 3, I've driven it about 20,000 miles this year. At 25 miles per gallon, a Camry's right around 25 miles per gallon. If you drove 20,000 miles, that'd work out to 800 gallons, which would be a cost of $160. Okay, am I being overcharged? Yes, but not horribly. There's a $40 difference, and as it turns out, my car is even heavier than the regular F-150. Now, I don't know which F-150 that is. It might be the two-door, but whatever. It puts us in the neighborhood of being able to talk about actual numbers. Okay, so for my Model 3, we're not horribly being punitive. Okay, there's a slight, but it would probably be too hard for the state of Texas to pull from my inspection what my mileage is. Even though, as I understand it, the inspection station is required to record it. I'll go back and check on that, but that was my understanding. Okay, so for my friend's Model 3, she drove about 8,000 miles last year. So at 25 miles per gallon, that works out to 320 gallons or $64. So in my friend's case, yes, the state of Texas, maybe not intentionally, but is doing a punitive charge on her to the tune of $135 a year. That doesn't even mention the fact that if you do a new registration on an EV now, that first year, instead of $200, they're going to charge you $400. That becomes real punitive. And what do you want? Even the Texas is largely a Republican state now, a red state. Okay, so even the party leadership, depending on how you want to interpret it, believes we should have choice. So putting in a punitive cost is about taking away choice. Okay? And there are those who might say, oh, but you got tax rebate. Okay. My Model Y was bought before they changed the rules, so it did not qualify. My Model 3 was bought used, was over the $25,000 threshold. My friend's Model 3, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out for her. I mean, it should have kind of qualified, but it didn't. Okay? Whatever. It is what it is. So, for all the people, oh, but you, no. That didn't happen in my case. Okay? Now, for other people, yes, it did. And one might argue if you bought a Model Y in the state of Texas, it would qualify for the $7,500 tax credit as long as you qualify for it. That would offset the $400 that Texas is taking off the top. But hey, you know, those people who are driving 10,000 miles, the state of Texas desperately needs you to help repair the roads that are being torn up by the oil and gas industry. Yes. That's what we're going to go repair. So anyway, whatever. Peace and harmony. There's the comparison. Those are the numbers. And these numbers are not, I'm not picking random cars. I'm picking my Model 3, my Model Y, my friend's Model 3. These are actual numbers. Okay, whatever. All right, so I'm afraid I confused my inspection station. So you see I have lifetime as grandpa, 17,560, not 529. They recorded as 17,067. What? I've gone 500 miles since I got inspected? Wow. Okay. But the odometer down here is 59,415. So that basically means if they were to take the total mileage off of this inspection report, it would be wrong. But okay, whatever. It's just one mistake. The point where I'm going is they do indeed record the mileage when they do the inspection. Okay? It's that simple. And DPS, and maybe in coordination with somebody else, TCEQ perhaps, are required to record the inspection information. Now, is there an exposure to DMV of the miles? I mean, I don't know. It's been years since I last looked at what this was. When you saw it, you're like, wow, cool, look at all the stuff I can pull. But it turns out they didn't want to trust us with it. And I get it. It's if I don't have a reasonable need for the information, it shouldn't be provided. That's fair enough. Okay, whatever. So here you go. It is reasonable to say they could compute how many miles you covered, other than DMV would have to record the previous year's. Would they? I think DMV would have to record the previous year's mileage, although the DPS system probably could be modified fairly easily to record both the previous and the new. Okay, there we go. Onward, upward charge.